Gas Bags, episode 18.
Yeah, 18.
And for the first time ever, coming to you on location, I'm Nick Valvano, joined with my man, Jason Jenkins. Jenky, your boy.
How are you guys?
Hello. Hopefully, this is going to be on video. So it's our second week on video on ESPN Louisville.com. Shout out to our man, Justin Soforo, for taking care of that. Very excited there. But we are on location, Jenky. Tell everybody where we're at.
We're at we're at Derby City Field, which is where Spalding University plays their home games, but it's also where DuPont Manual plays their home games as well. And right now, it's the District 25 tournament. So
District 25.
Today determines who goes and plays with the regions or not.
Okay. So is that how does that differ from? Is this like the equivalent of like a conference tournament? Like you and I both were Silver Creek grads.
Yeah.
So what exactly how does this differ from
sectional.
regions? So this is sectional.
Is there
Okay.
ladder or first place?
What are you talking about?
On the field.
Yes, both.
There we go. So some parenting, live radio, live TV.
Yep. She decided she needed to ask the question of if there's a batter or first base.
Yeah. Well, sometimes these are the questions. It's a pressing question. So this is the equivalent of a sectional then.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Like Kentucky breaks it down just a little bit smaller.
Right.
But we play sectional, regional, semi-state, state, right?
Right.
So Kentucky plays district, which in the district is only Portland Christian, Manual, Shawnee, Central, and something Foster.
Okay.
Another small school. I can't even remember, honestly. At some point, they're I don't know. They might play. They've played yesterday, I think.
Okay, so that's the district.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the district, whoever wins this goes to regions?
The regional.
Regional.
And the regional will actually be played at Louisville Slugger Field.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so
that's very cool.
They played it there last year, and that was an interesting experience to go there. My son plays for Manual. We'll see if he gets to pinch run or not. He's a freshman. So we went last year because we knew that he was playing here.
Right.
And they were playing in it with Eastern, Trinity, St. X. But every year in the state of Kentucky, really your power regions there's one region in Lexington that carries Lexington Catholic and
Lafayette.
There's a couple of them down there.
Yeah.
Those are real good baseball schools. And then you've got
Tate's Creek in that group?
Tate's Creek is in the other regional region down there, and I think they kind of sit by themselves.
Okay, all right.
They're kind of pushed out a little bit,
right?
So they're one of the teams that I'm pretty sure Tate's Creek typically wins their district, and then that's right. They're playing a different district. So district, they play down there for a regional bid, just like we do up here. So what the region here in Louisville will consist of Trinity, St. X, Manual, Ballard, Male, Eastern, teams like that. DeSales is 6.
Okay,
but so teams like that. So and then you've got 6 region who has DeSales.
Coming to bat for DuPont Manual, the third baseman Bennett Holdner.
So they've got Bullet East, DeSales, and PRP, which PRP is
great baseball park.
Right now, they've rebuilt pretty good, and they're good this year. But they were terrific when I was in high school. Yeah, they were. They were a power there in the mid 2000s, even late 90s. You figure all those kids, everybody remembers the Shively Little League team that goes to the Little League World Series.
Yeah,
there
right.
In 02, 03, maybe 01. The early 2000s.
Right.
Everybody remembers that team. And in remembering that team, those kids all went to PRP. So, PRP had the Shively Sporting Group down there had a good program, had a good feeder set. And they set themselves up well for a long time. Even then, Butler. Butler's been good.
That's a good point.
Been good several times. That's the Adam Duvall.
Yeah. That's right. Well, we are here from the district. What district number is
District 25.
District 25.
Yep.
Tournament. Is this a tournament?
This is a tournament.
Yeah.
So
the
winner of this game has a game at 7.
Okay, so they're playing a doubleheader. They're playing back to back. Okay, cool. And right now, right behind us, you can see is Manuel and Shawnee in action. Nice little turnout here. It's bringing. I gotta be honest. It makes me feel old, Jenky, and I'm not trying to be ageist here, but like
because I'm older than you.
Well, a little bit, but I'm looking around, and the parents are closer to my age than the kids are. And it's making, I mean, some of the parents, I mean, I have friends that now their kids are
making his way to the plate for the Crimson.
I'm seeing prom photos from their kids on Facebook, and I'm just like, wow, we're at that age already. Yeah, we are at that age already. Almost been out of high school for 20 years. So
those people that had kids right out of high school, their kids are up there now because you figure you're almost 18 years removed.
I'm pushing 20. So it's a little humbling, but very cool. Great weather, great turnout. Let's hop into some of the local headlines here. Yep. First and foremost, the latest with the transfer portal, it is still major topic du jour.
Absolutely.
We'll put a bow on the PGA. We'll put a bow on the Preakness. We'll mention those two,
and we're gonna eat cookies.
And we're gonna eat cookies here as I'm showing the camera. Yep. Today, we are doing an abridged Oreo cookie tasting.
Yeah.
We decided to go with classic Oreos, not double stuff, not reduced fat, not mega stuff, not instant diabetes, none of that crap. Not that that's crap. Those are great cookies, but we went with the OGs. We wanted to go with the OGs, and we decided to compare it with a couple of generic ones.
So that's a thing, a standard generic that you might find other places. And then, of course, this is the Kaleidos from Kroger. Yes. And we have a special treat there for the end. And this is like Mike Golick Jr. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, so Golick Jr., if you ever want to come on the air with us, we'd love to have
We're food reviewers too. We're basically the same people.
Basically. Except he played Division I football.
Right.
Yeah. But
not a big deal. Yeah. I think he also got a little pro time. He may have been a practice squad guy.
Yeah. Well, I played club hockey for almost 7 years.
Yep.
Jenky's really strong. So, but
we can have a bench press competition with me and Golick Jr.
Yeah, there you go. And I'd give it a shot. I'll cheer you guys on. There was a time I could leg press the decent number, but those days are behind me. We'll get them back.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. It's just work.
Tri-State Men's Health helping me out with the semi-glutide and testosterone. So we'll get back there. But no, so we decided to do the OG flavor, 2 generics, and then we went with the most wacky Oreo flavor, which I would say,
Sour Patch, yeah, absolutely.
Oreo is in the vein of M&M's and Lay's potato chips and Pop-Tarts, where it's an arms race to see who can come up with the most batshit crazy flavors.
Yeah.
But Oreo, we're in agreement that the Sour Patch Kids is the most off the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we went OG, generic, and off the wall. We're gonna try those. This is sort of like our control, and we're gonna go through that. But no, transfer portal stuff. Louisville over the weekend, big weekend, coming off of signing Case and Pryor. They get Noah Waterman, another big that is a good passer that can shoot pretty well. Pat Kelsey, seems to have his. What's that?
I was surprised with his ball handling. Like,
you're not the only one who mentioned that.
This is catching some random clips of him, and I realize highlights are highlights, right?
Right.
That's the reason they exist out there, and nobody clips off the one where he dribbles. Nobody puts the one where he dribbles off his foot on.
Yeah,
YouTube.
right. Or gets stripped, pickpocketed, or something like that.
He moves well with the ball for 6'11". I'm not saying he's Dirk or anything, but he looks okay.
Well, it fits into, again, and Field of 68 did a good job. It was John Fanta, Kevin Sweeney, I believe, and Rob Doster breaking down whose roster you would rather have, Pat Kelsey's or Mark Pope's. And we'll get to Mark Pope in a second. Yeah. But I still, and maybe it's my rule, I'm looking at it through literally like rose-colored tinted glasses. These are great sunglasses, by the way, Jenky. Thank you. Yeah. But it seems that, and I don't know, I haven't done a ton of research with what Mark Pope's been able to do, but it seems like, well, he might have some guys that are higher ranked. It seems like all the guys that Pat Kelsey's getting seem to fit into a certain system, and you can see people playing off of one another.
Right.
Like, I love the idea of Case and Pryor and Noah Waterman playing together, both guys that can shoot, both guys that are athletic bigs.
Yep.
And you kind of wonder though, and I want to pose the question to you, one scholarship left. What do you think Coach Kelsey uses it for, or does he just basically hold on to it for maybe next year?
I mean, I'm not a big proponent for holding a scholarship back for any particular reason.
Yeah, it's like a timeout.
Right,
Like you're not gonna. Yeah,
you're not. If you're not going to use, what's the point in having it if you're not going to use it? Right.
Yeah, right.
You shouldn't leave the game with them. And saying that, right, what we've got is in that one spot, you can look at
Coming to bat for
potential high school
Manuel,
people.
the catcher,
Look at,
2 men.
JUCO guys, stuff like that. You look at Karan Davis. Shout out to Tulio.
There we go. Yeah, Tanner not able to join us today. By the way, he's working,
doing money making gigs,
wiggling his ass for some tips and pizza. I do it too. Not hating. But yeah, no Tulio today. But no, Karan Davis, as you were saying.
No, but like getting somebody like that, maybe. And I heard Maven talk about this earlier. This is the Preston Knowles. He said memorial, but Preston's still alive. So
I was going to say,
I struggle with saying that.
When he mentioned that, I was like, whoa, wait, did I miss something? Yeah.
No, it's like the Preston Knowles scholarship, right? It's a guy that's local that means something to the area. I can't tell you who that person is right now. I don't remember what happened with the kid at Mayo that was right behind Caleb Glenn. But that would have been one of them.
That is one thing. There isn't really a local
guy. Yeah.
And that was why I was kind of hoping that a Caleb Glenn would stick around. I mean, we all had a player or two that we wanted to hold on to, or I think the consensus was a fresh start was needed from all these guys, and I mean it was definitely apparent by Pat Kelsey coming in here. And I would think that that might be that, and we'll see. But in hindsight, I feel like that might be what is best for everybody. And I think a fresh start for these guys is exactly what they need. But I was kind of bummed to see like a Caleb or a JJ, somebody that has a local tie, not come back. Because I agree. I mean, I think PK's done, absolutely hit it out of the park with connecting with the community and everything like that. But a local presence certainly resonates with this fan base.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that you just give it to a kid because he's a local. But I do think, but I do think that if it's a tie between two guys and one's a local, I feel like that does carry a little bit of weight. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think when you look at like, because when we did when KP got fired, right? I think we did the who do we want to stay. I think all three of us had JJ, and Caleb on that list.
And I think we were split on Brandon. Brandon and Tyler, I think were the next two.
Which both I think are going to good situations.
Yeah, both are staying in the ACC. Brandon obviously going to NC State, and Tyler recently going to Wake Forest. So we'll see how it works out for them. I think I love Brandon, but I do think he's a little, just my 2 cents. I think at times he can be a little inconsistent, and I do think that was the one guiding. Right. Well, not the one guiding light, but the one saving grace that if you were to give Kenny Payne was his development of Brandon as a player. Tyler, I do think is going to be an elite point guard at some point.
Yeah, I think once he gets the right person to hold to kind of let him, because he does a lot of things really well. He's quick with the ball. He handles it well. He sees well, but he just I don't think has nearly the experience yet, or someone to give him the knowledge that involves the experience, right? With the right kind of coaching to make the proper decision on the court. Yeah, he's kind of like he's what L. Ellis probably was before somebody let him get all the way out of control.
Yeah.
Before Ellis became a full-on gun.
Yeah, and just a complete defensive liability. Like Tyler at least wasn't to that point. I liked El. He came by the studio a few times. Seemed like a nice kid. I'm not trying to dog on him, but I know exactly what you're saying.
But yeah, and even then, you saw Tyler. But I think that's freshman stuff. You saw Tyler miss on assignments and defense and stuff like that, especially early. And he kind of settled in and was a little bit better towards the end. Still making mistakes, but again, we're talking about a kid who's 17 years old, 18 years old, trying to figure it out, being forced in a position that I don't think he got much guidance directly in. And, it really, I don't want to say it was unfair, but it wasn't allowing him to put his best foot forward.
I totally agree with that. So I'd like to see what his ceiling could be with a little bit of coaching. By the way, someone said, let's go Nicky V. And it threw me off. And I was like, they're cheering for me. I was like, that's so awesome.
Nope, that's great. Nick Ballard, who's actually, if you're looking at one of the guys that's going to come out, he's a junior. you're looking at the guys that are going to come off of this team that are going to be high-end baseball players eventually. I think you're looking at Nick Ballard as being one of them. He's a left-handed pitcher, which immediately gets more attention.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
But he's a guy that sits somewhere right around 90, 92. Good control, has great breaking balls, and then is a serviceable piece to put out in the outfield. He's got a decent bat.
Yeah.
So not quite Brendan McKay, right?
A complete, total freak two-way player,
right? Who's a Golden Spikes winner, right?
Yeah.
But but very good. And he'll when he goes to school, he'll be one of those guys that makes a giant impact really quick at the school he goes to.
Well, speaking of, we'll talk a little bit about UofL baseball too, as well. Yep. We'll touch on that.
Yeah. Because today was a rough day.
It was not great. It's been a rough season for the Cards, having some major bullpen woes.
Yep.
And just it is what it is. Certainly don't think Dan McDonald's on any hot seat or anything like that.
I think he's going to have to change something on the staff.
I was going to say
probably pitching coaches.
Yeah, there probably needs. I don't know about needs, but I feel like there's a worthy discussion of changing some things, because this is a couple years now.
Yeah,
they've had some
2 or 3 years in.
some issues with pitching.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we were spoiled with some really good pitchers that came through here.
Great pitchers.
Yeah.
The Birdies. Brendan McKay. And even before then, you had Jeff Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
You had Josh Rogers.
Yeah.
You had some really
what's his name? Pitched for the Yankees. Drawing a blank. Corey. No, not Corey.
No.
It'll come to me. Sorry. As I was starting to say it, it just left my brain.
We needed Biscuit to show up for that.
Yeah.
Deep cut shot. Chad Green.
Chad Green. Thank you. Good God. Yeah. Thank you. I knew it began with the C. Corey. Yep. Thinking of who's the other Golden Spikes winner? It was Brendan McKay and.
Oh no, we've only got one.
Yeah, but no, he's a finalist.
Oh.
Outfielder, still home.
Now batting for the Crimsons.
Can't remember his name.
James
Good Lord.
Cameron.
I'm sorry. It'll come to me. Anyway, going back to the transfer portal, it'll be interesting to see what Pat Kelsey uses his last scholarship on. I know Maven and Rummage have brought up. I don't know. I'm not trying to say
international player.
I truly don't know. They haven't told me any insight on that, but they've mentioned that a few times on their show. And I wonder if
they've got the guy from New Zealand, the coach from New Zealand.
Yeah,
has significant international ties.
Now, they did bring up a good point today. If you're a top foreign prospect, I don't know if it really behooves you to come to college basketball and get exposed.
I don't think it does.
I mean, it's just. I mean, the juice doesn't seem to be worth the squeeze as you look at all the highest ranked or the highest drafted European and foreign players. Not many of them actually come to U.S. college.
Correct.
I mean, and some of them turn out great, and some of them are Franklin and Lakina for the Knicks.
Right.
So, is what it is.
Who was the guy that Enes Kanter?
Yeah,
that's another one that
he's had a solid. Well, I mean, he should have played for Cal.
Right, he's continued for a while, but I don't know that
he's had a length. He's had a length.
I guess if you keep making a roster, I guess it's worth it.
Yeah, no, he's had a decent NBA career for sure. And I feel bad for him being Turkish and all the stuff he's had to deal with.
Right,
like that's a story. Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, for tough family dynamic there. But going back to the transfer portal, we want to talk a little bit about UK as well.
Yep.
I don't remember how many scholarships UK has.
I think they have three spots left.
Okay, I was going to say I
knew they had
more than one. Yeah.
I think they have 10 players right now.
But Chaz Lanier is the name that's been talked about, the guard for BYU. Part of me wants you were telling me in the pre-show, believe it or not, we do have a pre-show meeting.
Yep.
He was talking about how he is a Tennessean.
Yes.
But he would be transferring from BYU. And so now the choices seem to be down to 3, UK, Tennessee, and BYU. There's a tiny part of me that wants him to go to UK just so we can finally shut the hell up about who is BYU East. Right. That way both teams will have 2 BYU players and everybody can just shut up about it. A little Mario music here for at-bat music. That's strong. That's,
looks like they're making a decision on the field.
Oh, okay.
They're giving them a little encouragement.
I like that. That's a good musical choice for a discussion happening.
There is some comedy. So of course I come to all these games, right?
Right.
I'm at almost every one of them. They didn't play this much music the entire season.
Oh, nice. And so, for the district and when we're actually recording,
Have to wait for DuPont manual.
Yeah, we're shooting
baseman,
it
Zach
it turns into a
Morris.
damn symphony. But good work up there from the press box. As someone who ran the music and stuff for some Silver Creek games back in the day, I can respect a good press box operator. They're doing a good job up there. We are Gas Bags Radio. Jason Jenkins, Nick Valvano, coming to you live from the District 25 baseball tournament here at what's this field called?
Derby City Field.
City Field.
Everybody would know it. It's by Louisville Cavern and German American Club. This used to be a softball place. They used to do a lot of softball.
I was gonna say I think Pops actually might have played in a softball league here back in the day.
Probably
back in the day. I could be wrong about that, but regardless, we are coming to you on the road for the first time, talking a little transfer portal. We talked a little bit about UofL. We're talking about UK now. Chaz Lanier. I don't know much about this kid. I just know he's a guard, and I know that obviously he's got ties with his former coach Mark Pope in the UK.
Right.
But you were telling me that he seems somewhat comfortable at BYU.
Well, why would you consider them if you didn't feel, because he kind of blossomed there last year.
Okay.
Right. And so in doing that, why would you not consider that as a place where, you have fan support, you have people that like you, you're popular on campus, you don't have to come in and reestablish yourself, things like that, right? A comfort thing.
Yeah.
That would be the thing. But at the same time, you've also got to look at, he's from Tennessee. That's a potential pull. Who's the guard that Rick Barnes took last year that is a good Ziegler? Is that right?
The name sounds familiar.
Well, the guy blossomed at Tennessee last year, and this kid, this Lanier kid, looks like he's an upward tilting. He's on the rocket side of his progression.
How old is he? Do we know what year he is?
He'll be a senior.
He's okay. Fifth year, fourth year, fourth year senior.
He might again. I think Ennis said it the other day. I just assume everybody's got another year.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm totally, and that's the other thing. Like, time is flying because we're starting to leave all those COVID scholarships and COVID years. I mean, I think we have one more year of it. I think
so. I think
one more year.
One more where they definitely have COVIDs.
Yeah. So I can't believe we're that far removed from it already. But yeah,
doesn't feel like it.
No, it does not feel like it at all. But yeah,
I'm still oppressed, Nicky. I'm still oppressed.
Still oppressed.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some mask on me. Stop it. So yeah, Chaz Lanier. We'll see where he winds up. I do think the whole UK-UT dynamic. I mean, that is the secondary rival of UK.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's enough. I think somebody had written an article that was talking about how if UK does not get him, that it's actually a big non-get.
Really?
Yeah, like
now batting for DuPont.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Because it's somebody who's important, like really important, and well liked and viewed as a very good player.
Right.
That if they miss on this one, how do they feel? How do they feel about what Pope was able to actually do? Does it ding him at all? Because he's done a great job.
No, yeah,
they've put together an incredible.
No, I think they have that's another thing we were talking about on Middays with Marcus Maven. The rankings for transfer portal stuff is so outrageously all over the map. Everywhere. Like, I mean, with the whole recruiting rankings, like I can almost understand them being more spread out because these are kids that you don't know how they're going to translate to the college level.
Correct.
A lot of these guys are, I mean, if they're not Power 6 players, at least a lot of the players that, Pat Kelsey mentioned it when he was on with John Rothstein. He said he thinks 85% of the kids that they've signed played in the NCAA tournament last year.
Right.
So they're playing high-level basketball, these guys that are coming in. And, I mean, they have sample sizes behind them. Correct. And yet the rankings are all over them.
I think it's sometimes when you look at it and you look at 24/7, you got
on three
and rivals
and
you've got all these people. I think
there's like a disparity of literally 70 I think it's like literally 70
We're
spots.
number one in on three.
Yeah.
and we're like number 20 in 247.
Now, I do wonder if part of that is measured by just pure quantity, because obviously if you're a team that is going to be taking 13 kids as opposed to someone that is
right, the number divides out deeper.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm wondering how much that plays into it. But
well, and you figure
still,
some of the guys, I think we took definitely one guy from College of Charleston that was unrated.
right.
The last guy we took, he was unrated.
Yeah, I think he's redshirting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I think him and Khalifa are both
Both
supposed to
redshirting.
redshirt.
Brain
But
Smith and James Scott are
there for a little bit. I was trying to find Waterman, and he was unrated for a long time too. I think he's finally flipped in, and I didn't get to look back, but I thought I saw it pop up about giving him some stars.
Okay.
So,
Well, I mean, it's just it's one of those things where, I mean, I know that we're not in the infancy of it necessarily, but it's still the toddler state of NIL and transfer portal and everything like that. So
absolutely.
I know all the the metrics and everything like that are still adjusting and everything, but the disparity is, I mean, like you said, number one in one ranking, 70, they're in the 70s in another.
Yeah. And
I don't understand how that can be when I feel like these are more than educated guesses. You have sample sizes of these players that are coming in. I don't know.
I think you're looking at something, an evolution, right? Almost, because I think what you're seeing is people trying to get used to the transfer portal too, and how they're going to grade these players. Like if On3 values one specific metric, or 3 or 4 specific metrics, and 247 values other ones, like it gets competing, right?
Right.
And I think a lot of them run efficiency ratings and stuff like that, which is probably, I think, the best way to do it. The problem with that is if you extrapolate that out to an actual full-on game, like it seems like these guys are going to be all Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
sometimes.
right.
And you can't do that either. But I think when you do efficiency ratings and you start putting teams together in periods, right? Like if I know that I can get this 8 minutes out of this player, like this is this efficiency, right? I think that's the way. I'm an idiot. I can't read.
Me too. It's why we're friends.
I can't read or write. So like in that, like I'm obviously not the coach of a Division I basketball team, nor I don't even coach middle school basketball for that matter. So I'm not the best person to ask if my thought pattern is right, but to me looks like it really does look like what Pat Kelsey's doing is he's got these high efficiency guys,
right,
that play cohesively, and what he's
all
looking
willing
for
passers, all good shooters, all athletic.
What do we have? One person that shoots under 37%.
Yeah, I know, that's wild. It's wild. I mean, they can spot up from seemingly anywhere,
which again dead on fits his. And if you only need him to shoot 37% from three for 2 shots a game, right? Extrapolated over the season, hey, listen, that I like those chances when you're talking about people like, Kaysen and Noah Waterman and guys like that will be pushed out and given small opportunities to be able to capitalize on the small opportunities given from distance. Right. And again, Chaz Lanier is another one that high efficiency, like extremely high efficiency. And
what do we know about Mark Pope and his style?
He's a 5-out kind of guy.
So similar to Kelsey.
Very similar to Kelsey. There's a little bit of difference in the way that obviously their defense is different because depending on who you talk to and what part of Pat Kelsey's coaching life you look at, he's either an adjusted pack line guy, a full-on pack line guy.
Well, everyone plays some form of it. I know it's a dirty word,
but he's varied. He's really kind of an eclectic coach when it comes to defense. He kind of uses the pieces where he needs to, and then I think if you don't need to play pack line in the way that what we thought Chris Mack or Tony Bennett were going to play it,
right?
I think that you don't.
Batting for the Crimsons, the catcher, Newman.
Which is why, when you get deeper into looking at what he is, I think that's what makes him good.
Yeah, no, I definitely from what I've heard and from we were all doing crash courses and kind of seeing it. I definitely agree with you, and that's why I feel like I would lean with Kevin. Is it Kevin McSweeney or Kevin Sweeney? I always forget from Field of 68.
I think it's Kevin Sweeney.
Sweeney, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I agreed with his points that he made on Field of 68, talking about how this team could be a potential tournament team in year one because of, Coach Kelsey has a very dynamic way of playing, and these guys all seem to fit in that system. There isn't really, we talked about it. I think we talked about it last week. We talked about it on Middays with Marcus, how a player like you got on Yellow, which it seems isn't going to be coming to UofL now.
I wouldn't think so.
He was a player that could definitely add something, but wasn't necessarily. He was more of a tool, not necessarily a fit.
Yeah,
and it seems like all the guys that Kelsey has gotten are fits, whereas the guys with Mark Pope, I feel like, and I'm not trying to lick sprinkles off donuts or rivalry here. It seems like he's gotten guys that are, some of which are highly ranked or higher ranked than UofL has, but I'm not sure necessarily they would fit in as well with that whole 5-out system that Pat Kelsey and Mark Pope play. So I don't know. Again, that's just my view from 5,000 feet. Like, if you put a gun to my head, I have to really think about it. I know about half of the roster for UK.
Right, yeah.
But just from what I've heard from other people that follow it more, I've heard like maybe higher ceilings on these guys, but maybe not as much of a cohesive unit.
I would say that I don't see them having as high quality shooting bigs.
Yeah.
They've got a little bit more defensive. They've got a couple of defensive stalwart bigs is what they would want you to believe, more so than getting out and shooting from range kind of guys.
Right. The ones that like the Waterman.
Yeah. It looks like exactly what we went and got. Even when you talk about Khalifa, that was Khalifa's game kind of, is he wanted to get out there, which is a little bit of surprise, right?
They're all kind of like stretch four type players a little bit.
Yeah. Because they're 6'10", 6'11" guys. I think Khalifa might be a flat 7.
Khalifa, I think Khalifa is. But yeah,
you see the picture with
foul ball coming in hot.
Yep. Did you see the picture with him and the previous the previous Egyptian? I don't.
Anas?
Anas Mahmoud.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That's flat awesome.
That is pretty cool. We have a drink request.
Where'd you put your?
Is it under here?
I don't know. Is it?
We are looking. This is live again. Live TV, live radio.
Yep.
We are looking for a drink.
Unicorns.
Is that a unicorn? Is that a unicorn cup?
That is.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Ren's Unicorn Cup making its first appearance.
There we go.
On Gas Bags Radio.
Yep.
And we are coming to you from the District 25 tournament here at the Derby City Field. It's Jason Jenkins, Nick Valvano. Gas Bags Radio, episode 18. Shout out our man Justin Soforo for getting this on ESPN Louisville Plus. We appreciate that. Talked a little bit about transfer portal. We could talk a little bit about PGA Preakness over the weekend. Yeah. But I feel like it's time to delve into the first of our 4 cookies. Yeah. 5 really, because this generic pack has both the blonde and
I'm not so sold on needing the blonde.
I do. I love me.
I'll probably eat it. Yeah. I've been known to eat a blonde or 2. But
that's the content.
But I don't need it to be with. It came in the pack like that.
Yeah. I will say.
It might be a good palate cleanser when we roll into,
because that is a blonde Oreo. That is a blonde Oreo.
Spicy blonde.
I say we start with these. Or what order were you thinking?
So these are the cheapest. These were like $2.79 a pack. These are like $3.99 a pack, and those are like $4.99 a pack.
$4.99 for Oreos.
I know, right? What's the world come to?
Jeez, my God, inflation killing you.
I'm going to eat them, and I'm still going to probably buy them.
Absolutely. No, Oreos is. We can do a discussion one day, maybe during the summer, about where Oreos rank on the tier, the echelon of cookies, because I'm not sure. With the exception of maybe a Chips Ahoy or a Biscoff cookie. I don't think anything's touched.
There's not. So, pre-argument is
there are some keyboards that bang.
Soft batch
keyboards bang.
But you can't.
And the cookie one or the candy ones, whichever. Yeah.
But you can't dip the soft batch in milk because they don't absorb.
Yeah, it's a good point.
The Oreo. That's whoever came up with that formula on how to suck all that milk in.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is an extra bonus on what makes the Oreo elite. It's compatibility with milk.
Absolutely,
100%. All right. So, what order did you want to hop in with these?
Let's go with let's go with the cheapest. The
cheapest one. All right, these are Smart Way assorted sandwich cookies.
Yep.
So there we go. We got chocolate and blondes. I do love me some blonde Oreos. A little bit lighter in color than I would say the
not quite as dark. Which is probably
Oreos
the cocoa content.
Yeah, the cocoa content. I'm showing it to the camera. I'm not sure it'll show up, but
yeah, it will.
Yeah. So there you go. Nice.
Pretty good split. These are almost like the ones that you get when you go to jail.
Take your word for that. All right, so generic cheap Oreos. Cheers, mate. Yes, sir.
So that's a good crunch.
Good crunch.
Yep.
Solid cookie.
I mean the filling, frosting. What is it? Is it filling? Is it frosting?
Frosting. Yeah, I think it's frosting.
Because it's always filling if it's shoved into something.
Yeah. If it's like completely encased, I feel like this is, it's not. Well, it's sandwiched between the sandwich cookie. Icing good. It has that generic taste. Icing, which is like kind of sweet. Well, I mean, obviously sweet, but oversugared. Yeah, well said. I will say the texture of the cookie, surprisingly pleasant. It reminded me of like animal crackers.
Yeah.
And I dug it. I'm getting a second one. Yeah.
I think this is one of the ones.
The cookie itself is pretty good.
That would do well in milk.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't always get them where they do well in milk.
No.
Some of the generic Oreos in the past have not been good milk cookies.
Yeah, they're kind of waxy. Yeah. They have that waxy coating. Yeah. This is a good cookie.
Coming back for Shawnee,
is a solid cookie.
Dorian, Spike, Spinks.
The cookie itself is slightly, I feel like, less sweet.
Yeah.
Has a good crunch to it.
Not nearly as much chocolate flavor.
Yeah, which is not great, but because of that, the over-sweetness of the cream.
Mm-hmm. Cream was the word I was looking for.
Cream, yeah. It fits a little bit better. Like, because the cookie itself is a little bit more bland. But, it still has flavor. Like I said, the crunch, it reminds me of animal crackers.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, all right, let's try a blonde one. I'm just curious.
I'll eat one.
Not as good as a cocoa, in my opinion. Oh, wait. Okay. I just got a lot of cookie on the bite, not enough cream. Once I got to the cream. No, that's not bad.
No, it's not.
Going to the plate for the Eagles.
It tastes like an animal. Tastes like an animal cracker.
That blonde, the cookie tastes like an animal cracker. For sure. Absolutely.
An animal cracker with icing. With cream.
With if you think about it, the iced animal crackers.
Yeah,
that's a good cookie.
That is a deceptive.
Yeah, with the pink and the sprinkles.
Deceptive S tier cookie.
Yeah.
In my opinion, absolutely. So not bad. I don't know what number you want to get this because this is sort of like our.
So we're gonna decide which one's the best of the three.
Oh, so we'll just rank them, not numbers. We'll just do rankings.
Yep. Because then we can take in the price point and the quantity. Because this is like.
Yeah, it's a whole. You get three massive sleeves of cookies.
Yeah, how many servings is this here?
I mean, let's see what we got here.
It says it is 3 cookies a serving at 20 servings.
60 cookies.
So it's 60 cookies, right? And three's a number you don't see a lot.
Coming to the plate for Shawnee. Center fielder.
Yeah, let's see what the serving size is on these.
These are 3 too.
Yeah, three as well.
Huh. I would say I've been seeing 2 for whatever reason, but I guess they've been 2.
Maybe it's the mega stuff or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I think I've been getting into the double stuff.
Where it's they're like, hey, we don't want you to go into a diabetic shock.
Right, you can't have 3 of these, sir.
Yeah, slow down. I saw this video one time of these college kids took like 10 double stuffed cookies.
Yeah,
and just took the cream out of all of them and made one. Like, I mean, now they sell them the mega stuff, but like literally, even with the mega stuff cookie, it was like 3 mega stuff cookies. Yeah. And the guy ate it and then measured his blood sugar, and it almost broke the scale. Like it was just. It was so crazy. It spiked his sugar by like 80 points.
The diabetic next to him
it was just like, just by like contact high, just by being near him. It was wild. All right, so PGA over the weekend.
Yeah. aside from the black eye, right? Because what happened was stupid, right?
It was dumb.
And I can't figure out who was actually right or wrong. It kind of doesn't even matter. The what they allowed to happen and the way they allowed to have it happen was what caused the failure. The individuals involved, even the cop, I don't think is part of the failure. I think it's the way they set up entering and exiting for people with PGA credentialed vehicles.
Yeah, and everyone was on guard about the whole. I mean, obviously,
because somebody had just been
passed
killed.
away.
Yeah,
you know that's awful. That still is the major story of it.
Absolutely,
I mean,
more so than anything.
You can't forget that.
Yeah,
but no, I do think that the logistics of getting in and out is something. If you can take a step back, and there's a lot of stuff to roll your eyes at about the story, but. We can debate about it. I mean, we can talk about it, but I mean, I feel like it's kind of been done ad nauseum at this point. Everybody, I mean, it was a bad look for the city. It was a bad look for everything. And I don't know. What just bothered me is, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I don't think we're not trying to be anti-police here.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
No. Like, I mean, we both have a lot of friends that
tons of friends
and so mad respect to first responders and everything like that. But it just bothers me when I hear that the body camera wasn't on,
right? Because
then again, it goes back to all the past crap that happened here, and it's just it makes a black eye even worse.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I hate to say it, like Scotty Scheffler seems like a good guy, but like Pop said today on the show, even good people do Nimrod things occasionally, and he might have done a Nimrod thing, but we're not going to know because there's no video evidence of it.
Absolutely.
And so it's very, very frustrating. With all that said, I think the macro now,
I think we're getting
the logistics of actually getting in and out of the tournament is something that might, I don't want to say put the future of the tournament in jeopardy, but I believe it's going to be something that needs to be looked at and addressed.
I believe that when the course was sold, that it had lost its spot inside of that circle that was the PGA Championship. I think that it lost because we've had it here 4 times?
Yeah,
something like that. And I believe when it was sold, that took them out of it, and they have to earn a spot back in.
Right, and of course, having Scotty Scheffler arrested and sadly someone passing away isn't helping. On a positive note, the tournament itself was terrific.
Oh, listen, so I know that you got to go.
Yeah.
Right.
I got my band on.
I was in Fort Lauderdale for it for a work meeting, and I watched it on TV. Look, the TV setup for it looked fantastic. The Valhalla looked beautiful.
Oh, it was shining.
I mean, even on the rainy day, it looked great.
Well, the thing is about Valhalla, and I learned all this, but it's a Jack Nicklaus course.
Yep.
So it's set up so that the back 9, you can put up some scores.
Correct.
It's score friendly. Yeah. So that's why everyone was, I mean, you saw 2 record scores happen over the weekend with Xander Schauffele and Shane Lowry. I mean, the 2 of them put up stupid numbers. And I mean, the reason for that is it's a course that lends itself more towards that as opposed to guys having to struggle to hit 2 under. So the course itself is friendly to that. What I didn't realize until going and seeing the throngs of people was that it's a course that lends itself to spectators pretty well, too.
Yeah, easy to walk.
Very easy to walk. A lot of good sight lines. Yep. I mean, you're able to get to numerous holes at once. You can follow people, and there's not a ton of bottlenecks. Yeah. There's a lot of good vantage points. I mean, as you saw on TV, I feel like it translated. It's translated well to TV. And you saw the viewership. I mean, I was in some throngs of people, and I was able to. I didn't feel like I was getting the short end of a stick in terms of viewing the actual live golf. Right. I had good vantage points. There was a good number of volunteers. You never felt like you were far away from one of them. I mean, the logistics of getting into the actual tournament. Yeah, it definitely needs some work. But actually, the event itself, just from my own personal experience, and I had the media, but I was still walking around with people that didn't have media passes. I was walking with John Q. Public. I had a great time. I mean, it's an excellent course for this.
Absolutely.
I mean, it handled that many people.
I agree, and it looked, like I said, it looked beautiful on TV, and through. Like the text group with the gas bags. I saw that some of them went.
Yeah, Biscuit was out there,
and a couple other guys. And then
Tanner went out one day.
Didn't Casey make it out?
I think Casey was out there one day. I think Doc was out there one day. Yeah,
so I had some
gas
people
bags you'll meet hopefully at some point.
Oh, absolutely. They will absolutely make it. Especially now that we have this, the way that we can do this.
Yes. Yes.
You can meet the now suddenly all-star.
I was about to say we might need to touch on this. Like, let's finish our PGA thoughts, but the gas bags are rolling.
But like having that text thread, and there were so many of you all that got in, and like the feedback that I was getting via text of people that were actually present, everybody describes it exactly the way that you did. And when you go back and like you see posts from Justin Thomas and those guys, and how
At bat for the Crimson.
how
First
good it
baseman,
was
Cash.
for him,
Super.
right?
Yeah, the local. Yeah, he got a good reception. Top 10 finish. So good showing from JT over the weekend.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it was once you got on the grounds, I felt like it was, and I'm not knocking anybody. It's just it is what it is. The logistics of getting into the place. I mean, you're putting
it's hard.
You're putting like I forgot what they estimated.
It's an incredibly difficult spot to get in.
Did it estimate? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it estimated at 300,000 over the 4 days.
That's what
over the whole week.
That's what they said for the week. It was
for the week. 300,000 people into that area is not logistically very feasible. But once they got in the ropes, I think it ran about as smoothly as possible. Tons of concession spots. The pro shop itself was massive and gorgeous with great. I mean,
people were blowing money like crazy.
Oh my god! I spent so much money. I spent about $400. Like it was. I bought so much stuff. I'm mad I missed the clearance sale on Monday. I was very bummed about that.
Oh, that's what Biscuit was talking about.
Yeah, Biscuit and Casey. Casey is a little bit more svelte than Biscuit, was able to find some sizes, whereas Biscuit, who's he's the biggest of the biscuits.
The biggest of all the biscuits.
He's the biggest of all the biscuits. He wasn't able to find anything in his size. It was
Biscuit's more man size, whereas Casey's a little bit more
on the jockey side.
Yeah,
he's
a little bit more on the jockey side.
Speaking of jockeys, Preakness, not going to be a
just dinger by Cash Zuber there.
Oh, is that what the cheering was? Very nice.
Put one out.
Congratulations. Yep. Tasty work out of him. Makes it
17-0 manual.
I don't think that's the right score.
No, that's the right score.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's on 7.
Third baseman, Jacob Sanford.
It looks like it's 7, and they just put 17.
Oh, I guess it is 7.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say.
I know they batted around. They got around in the first inning. They got around at least one time.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I was gonna say. I was like, I don't think it's 17, but yeah, 7 to 0. Here, Manuel leads.
The computer just did the math on that.
Yeah, so did I. Like it's a very nice scoreboard. Yeah, it's a very nice scoreboard. But yeah, I believe it is 7 to.
Correction, that bat is number 13.
Oh, you know what? Actually,
second baseman.
It probably is because I think they scored 15 in the first.
Oh, they did.
And you can't.
You can't put a 1-5.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
So it is 17-0. Manuel over Shawnee.
Yeah, because there's 12 hits.
Yeah. Okay, that would make sense. That'd be. That's 12 hit.
That doesn't make. Well, no, walks.
Oh, walks too. Yeah, maybe some plunkage as well.
Right.
So, well, there you go. Preakness, sadly, Mystic Dan not able to get it done.
Yeah.
I was watching that race. It was in the mud. I thought he had a good, he's a good horse in the mud.
I didn't think we were getting from the race that happened at Churchill. I did not believe we were getting a
I had some hope in the sense that Belmont's going to be at Saratoga this year, and it's only going to be a mile and a quarter. Like, so I had a little bit of hope there, and I know everyone would have poo-pooed it then if he did win the Triple Crown.
Because it would have been a shorter. Yeah.
Right. But he comes in second, sees the gray, takes the win. Yeah. Dwayne Lucas, I feel like it's just another example. And I'm a Bob Baffert fan, for what it's worth. I really wish that I love Churchill Downs. Bob Baffert's been a friend of the V Show, has come on a few times. He's always been very, very nice, generous with his time with us. I'm not tied in enough with the whole, steroids and everything like that with horses. I got friends.
Not with horses. We're starting to get familiar with the people.
Yeah. We're starting to get familiar with people, but horses, I'm not attached to the barns enough. Right. I don't like anything that puts those animals in their safety in any harm. I don't like that at all. Agree. So I do feel like I have a firm anti-stance on that. But what I've heard about what Bob Baffert was accused of, I've got people that are horse people that have told me that it wasn't that big a deal, but I'm not going to get into that argument.
Right.
Because I don't know enough about it. What I do know is that Baffert's been a friend of the V show. I want him, and I love Churchill Downs. I think if you want to talk about logistics and an area that knows their product, goes no further than Churchill Downs. All they keep doing is building and making an already electric international event that much better.
So easy for them in the way that they, with this last two renovations, I guess, when they put in that little entry circle by the main gate, the little entry circle that they basically just rope off, or for better word, for buses that run back and forth from the Fair and Expo Center.
Yeah.
But like what they've done with that and allowing the accessibility on those days, especially like what will now probably Derby will probably be almost as big as Oaks used to be.
Right.
But on definitely Oaks and Derby, when the accessibility for people to be able to park at the fairgrounds over there and get bussed over, and that's a fairly quick ride, even with a generous amount of traffic and people coming in and out of there, which happens less on those two big days. But they run that line really efficiently, and
they do a great job.
They're located in a place to execute that incredibly well.
Yeah, no, that's
Central Avenue knocks that out of the park.
No, absolutely, totally does. So with that said, I mean, I really wish that Baffert and Churchill Downs could come to some sort of, figure this out. Yeah. But I do think, again, it was a reflection that, Dwayne Lucas was a big name. What was the name in horse racing for
forever?
We had
30 years probably.
4 Derby wins. And he just won his 7th Preakness.
What did Dwayne's first win was in '88 or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was. Was it Gopher Gin? Was it Gopher Gin? I think it was Gopher Gin. I'm not sure. Well, no, Gopher Gin would have been '94, I believe. But
his first win was in '88, and then he had a couple more in the '90s. And I think he had one in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I think that's right, because they were talking about it. He had Grindstone. Yep. I know that. It was my 3rd year here. I was here for Gopher Gin, Thunder Gulch, and Grindstone. And then I can't remember, because they were talking about this on the Diener show this morning.
Oh, yeah.
They were going through the list. But I think he's got 18 Triple Crown wins. God bless him. Octogenarian, about to be 89. So super, cool story there. But it was a reflection to me, was that the sport doesn't necessarily need Bob Baffert. Would it love to have Bob Baffert? Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't need it.
It doesn't necessarily need it.
There were always good trainers out there, and who knows what the deal directly was. Who knows if what's been going on in the previous 20 years that they've maybe started to tighten up, right? Because you had all those horses that died on the track. That was around the COVID year, where it was like 6-7 horses or something like that.
Santa Anita had that disaster
Anita had an awful year one year, and
Churchill had to shut down last year. Yep. Yeah, it was
just. I think when you had all of those things happening, and when you're talking about what the sport had to do to adjust, maybe that kind of pushes somebody that was massively dominant on the thing, because maybe there was a thing they were kind of getting away with because it wasn't checked as hard, right? Now they had to become more stringent with it because it was a risk for these animals, which in the end, when we're talking about this, I don't mind if what a person does, right? You can do what you want to do, put what you want to in your body for the most part, as long as you're not hurting other people. But you can't do that to something that doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, right.
Which would be, horses,
right.
Any kind of animal
And when they get hurt, it's not like they go on the long-term IR.
Right. No,
oftentimes you got to put it down.
Yeah. A lot of times when they get hurt, they're done. They can't be pets. They're nothing like that. You got to put them down. And that's the tragic part of it, but it is a beautiful sport.
No, it is. And I think it's interesting. I think horse racing was, and I'm not sure they're out of it yet. I still have a little bit of a Derby hangover in terms that Derby 150 was a historic event in terms of viewership, in terms of attendance, and the race itself was a great race. So all that happened without a Bob Baffert.
Yep.
And so part of me was kind of like, hey, horse racing's in an okay state, but it doesn't necessarily have. Of course, the Belmont's not going to have. It loses half its luster when there's not a Triple Crown winner. It's only added so by the fact that it's at Saratoga this year. Yeah,
How about the Preakness busting out Ray Lewis for the Riders?
That was I will say this.
They destroyed us on that.
One of I hate to say it because I like Martha Stewart. I like Martha Stewart, but that was one of the blemishes of Derby 150. The Riders up call. Yeah. Much love, Martha Stewart. It's not Connecticut. It's Kentucky.
Listen, she's a convicted felon.
No, she's got cred. Yeah. Like, no, I mean, I love
people in the streets.
I love Martha Stewart. She seemed very wholesome and sweet, but she fumbled it. She fumbled it. It is what it is. I can't walk and chew bubble gum. I listen to the V show or Middays with Marcus Bateman. Listen right now, and you can tell that I've got a hard time with this talkifying sometimes. You know, I did that on purpose, but you know what I'm saying. Ray Lewis killed.
Wordsmithery.
Wordsmithery, yeah. My vernacular and pronunciations.
Ray did awesome, and it was awesome to watch.
No, he killed it. That was fantastic. We were talking about this quick sidebar. Mm-hmm. Shaq to the TBT.
Oh yeah.
Do you think he plays, or is he just going to be like in an advisory role, or do you think he comes off the bench at some point? I think that if Shaq is a flair for the thematic.
Yeah.
If he's in an advisory role, I totally can see him WWE style pulling off his coaching blazer and pants and going out and playing a couple minutes and setting the internet on fire.
What's the thing that he's taking? The testosterone thing that he's taking? It's not Nugenics because that's Big Hurt and
that's Big
Doug
Hurt.
Flutie.
Yeah,
there's a different one that he's the spokesperson for.
Testofen? No, I don't know.
Testofen's the thing.
No, Testofen's in Nugenics, right? Yeah,
he's got one. So he's gotten in.
Shaq Diesel, still Shaq Diesel.
He's gotten in pretty good shape for being 52 years old.
52, yeah.
Yeah. So, for being 52, I don't know how his legs are, right? Because that matters. But at the same time, he's probably lighter than he was his last little bit in the NBA by a considerable amount.
Probably.
I think, could he come in and, maybe do a Jabberwocky dance as he's entering the game and kind of bring like wherever they're playing at, right? Because I don't know where they'll be located,
right?
But wherever they're playing at, bring in a crowd that then comes back the next time.
Oh yeah,
and more people show up. Because in the end, that's what he's going to be used for.
Yeah, he can get up and down the court a few times.
He's Jackie Moon.
Yeah, there you go.
Jackie Moon.
I definitely. But we were talking about what athlete would you be afraid ain't as good as they once was, but could be good once as they ever was. And Ray Lewis was one of the names that we mentioned.
Ray Lewis would be one of them.
He still looks like a monster.
No, for sure.
I met him one time at the Derby red carpet.
Yeah.
And just, God, he looked like a Volkswagen.
Still my favorite video, and Chad Ochocinco posts it at least 3 or 4 times a year when he goes across the middle and he's trying to kind of like catch Ray on the side.
Yeah.
And Ray just kind of turns into him and pops him.
Yeah. And he just like feet to the
feet to the sky.
Yeah.
Ray puts a hurt on him, and it's awesome. Go look it up. It's fantastic to watch. Chad getting blasted is awesome, and he takes it like a champ too.
Oh yeah,
Chad's a pro, and he's real good at what he does.
That would be something I like. The senior tour. I mean, there's the Champions Tour in golf.
Yeah,
they did that boxing exhibition, and I feel like that has a very fine line of being absolute shit show, circus that could be dangerous, and also working. But when Tyson and Roy Jones had that exhibition fight, it actually worked. And now Tyson is fighting Jake Paul.
Yeah,
and I know it has a circus atmosphere to it, but I've come around a little bit to it. I got to be honest. But put that aside. We can talk about that as it gets closer to the fight.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what like Champions Tour type things could you see for some of the other sports? Because I could see like a 7-on-7, like Chad Ochocinco and T.O. out there.
So
that could be kind of fun.
Did you see T.O. race Tyreek Hill?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
So now Tyreek gave him like a 5-yard head start. But when they finished, I don't think Tyreek was in 5 yards.
Really?
T.O. still got wheels.
He can still do it.
He's 48, 49 years old.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he's got some wheels, man.
A 7-on-7 flag football league or something like that.
Get a guy back there like get Tom Brady back there.
I would watch that over the Pro Bowl.
I don't think Peyton Manning can do it. He can't even turn his neck on the Manning cast.
Yeah, unfortunately.
If he's looking, he's shifting his whole body.
But seriously, I would watch that over the Pro Bowl. I would rather have like a team captained by Eli and a team captained by Brady.
Oh yeah,
And they
maybe Tom,
T.O., Chad
Patriots
Ochocinco. You get some of these guys that still are in good shape and have personality. That could be a lot of fun.
As a Patriots fan, maybe Tom can finally beat him.
Maybe. It was so funny, the dynamic of it, the paper, rock, scissors that were the Mannings and the Brady.
Yeah.
Like Brady beats Peyton. Eli beats.
And then Tom can figure out how to beat Eli.
And and Peyton, I think, had a winning record against Eli. I could be wrong.
I think so.
So no, that was funny how that worked out. Speaking of the NFL, Devontae Parker.
Yep,
retiring.
Made $54 million in his contract.
He's one of those guys. Tanner has it on the sheet of lies here. He even put a photo of Devontae.
Yep, in a Dolphins uniform.
In a Dolphins uniform.
Against
Tanner,
the Patriots.
As Tanner is our resident Dolphins fan. But where do you think, like, he had a good career. Good career. Not hating on it one bit. 9-year career. Fantastic. Marred by injuries, though.
Yeah.
What do you think his ceiling could have been had he been healthy?
Immediately injured.
Yeah, like I think he could have had. I mean, I don't know. Did he ever Pro Bowl?
No.
I think he could have had a Pro Bowl year or two had he been able to stay healthy.
If he wasn't injured, Tanner's got on here. Could have been like Julio Jones.
I don't know about that.
But Julio's body was so.
Devontae was big.
He was tall.
Yeah, but Julio's body.
He was a big guy.
Yeah, he was deceptively thick. Yeah, that's fair. Fair. I can see him being like a diet version of Julio Jones had he stayed healthy. But regardless, shout out to Devontae. Great NFL career, man. Cardinal great. It was a lot of fun to watch when he was here. Also was friends with Jeanette growing up. Really? Yeah, they were neighbors. So shout out to Devontae Parker. Absolutely. Some other nuggets here we can get to, but we should do number 2 of our cookies. Do we want to do the Kaleidos or the OG Oreos? What do you think?
Kaleidos.
Kaleidos it is. All right. So Kaleidos, this is the generic Oreo from
I'm going to check the feed real quick just in case.
All right. Please do as I open this up. Let's see here.
So yeah.
So we're back.
Yeah, we got cut off there at the Brady Eli thing and hoping that Brady could finally beat Eli. But we were talking about Devontae.
Coming to bat for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah.
Good pitcher.
His time period
Brown.
in the NFL. And hopefully he'll come back and be able to do some cool stuff. Kind of like, maybe not to the degree that
Deion Branch.
Well, maybe not even that. Maybe not to the degree because he's local. Maybe not to the degree that Teddy did, right?
Oh, okay. So you're talking not necessarily with UofL. You're talking about just the community, the high school, and
because
like that. Yeah.
Teddy's doing a phenomenal. Did you see the video of him smoking the Miami Northwestern kids?
Oh, really?
Like a 2-minute drill.
Oh, that's
just
awesome.
Messing them up, man.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
But yeah, like hopefully Devontae gets the opportunity to come back and really do something special here in the community. I know he never really, I don't think he set roots down like anywhere else specifically.
Yeah.
This would still probably be considered what home is.
Yeah. But as far as from what I've heard. Yeah. And I mean, talk about another guy that is, I mean, great career, not taking anything away from it, but Teddy, both Teddy and Devontae stayed healthy. I think you'd have a 2-year Pro Bowler in Devontae Parker. And I mean, a guy that,
I think Teddy could have had several playoff wins.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know that he wins a Super Bowl because winning a Super Bowl is so difficult.
Well,
especially when Tom Brady's in the league.
That Minnesota,
and then Patrick Mahomes.
No. I'm not saying he would have won, but I could see him going to a title game.
And that's the final score.
A conference title game. I mean, the year he got hurt in Minnesota, that team was tailor-made for him.
Congratulations to Shawnee.
So good.
Golden Eagles on a wonderful season.
And we got a run roll here in the districts.
Yeah, we got a run roll here.
Congratulations also to the Zero Annual Crimsons as they advance to the District 25 Finals.
There we go.
They will face the Francis Parker.
There we go.
Francis Parker.
That's the other one. I have no idea where that's at. I know nothing.
I don't know about that either. But so Francis Parker and Manuel will be playing for the District 25 title championship here at the Derby City Field. So very exciting stuff there. We are doing our cookie tasting.
We're up to Kaleidos now.
Kaleidos.
This is the Kroger brand, right? So, and it's a little different because if you notice they have holes in them. Right?
I was gonna say, when I think of generic Oreos,
this is it.
I think of the holes.
Absolutely.
The holes that, as I pressed it together, it's a little warm. It's been out in the sun.
Yep.
The cream has kind of seeped through the holes a little bit. So interesting to see how it tastes.
Yep.
But when I think of generic Oreos, I think of these.
Immediately softer versus what that is.
Yeah, immediately softer, way more cocoa. Way more cocoa. The cream, definitely tastes the cream. That extra
Ladies and
sweet
gentlemen,
cream.
at this time, I would like to announce the All
Very
District
good.
25 tournament representatives from the Shawnee Golden Eagles.
There we go. All district team.
All district came
From the Shawnee Eagles.
from the Shawnee Eagles. Congratulations to those young men.
First selection from Shawnee.
These are good.
They are good.
Number 2, Corian Spinks.
That's the Korean Sphinx making the all-district team from Shawnee.
This is like how Scribble got
And
his.
the other selection, number 3, Jeremiah Forrest.
Jeremiah Forrest. Congratulations to them.
gentlemen. All District 25 tournament team.
Good stuff there. So Kaleidos,
They're not bad.
I like them. I like these better because of the crispiness.
Right. I think those are a better milk cookie.
Better milk cookie, not as waxy. The cocoa is good.
Yep.
Again, it kind of masks that overly sweet cream,
Yep. I agree.
but it's like a drier, waxier cookie.
Right.
It's not as waxy as the Walmart brand. The Walmart
Great
brand
values.
Oreos, great values.
Yeah.
Very waxy.
What up? Hey, why are your pants dirty? You ain't play. Why are your pants dirty? You didn't play.
Say hi to the camera, Aiden.
You don't have to.
No, go for it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying them. Here, you can try those two.
Doing a review. What would you rate this 1 to 10?
I mean, you know what a real
Generic Kaleidos. What would you rate the Kaleido? We'll get the. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a bad cookie, but yeah, it is a little bit dry. Very cocoa-y. 6 out of 10.
Yep. You went for the blonde. Looks like your dad.
Come by it honestly, Aiden. So there you go. All right, so Kaleidos, good.
Yeah, good.
Right now,
For the price, though, there's going to be my next argument of that being $4 versus this being $2.79.
this is
That's a better deal.
This is a better deal. You get more cookies. I think the cookies are better than the Kaleidos. No
I do
offense,
too.
Kaleidos.
Yep.
But I will say this. I think if you're baking and you want something that looks like Oreos, these look more like Oreos.
Correct.
I do say that.
You know when you're smashing them up, right, and you might get some of the cocoa flavor out of it better.
Yeah.
So,
If you're making a milkshake or some sort of like dessert or something like that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
I can see
100%.
I can see that being, but I can see that being your go-to over these. But by and large, this is good.
That's
I got news for you. In terms of value, in terms of flavor,
60 cookies.
This is base form Oreo. This isn't
Absolutely.
Super Saiyan Oreo.
Right.
These could give the classic
Right
Oreos
for
a
it.
run.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we'll see. Talk a little bit about the NBA, NHL playoffs. We could talk a little bit about that. Happy my Rangers going to be in action tomorrow against the Cats, the Florida Panthers. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, 7 p.m. tomorrow.
So I went into hockey last week trying to find a way to like a team. And, of course, I started with the Bruins, right?
Okay,
I'm, in general, a Boston fan for pro sports. I'm
Right.
a Celtics fan, a Red Sox fan, I'm a Patriots fan. I wanted the Bruins there so badly, but it just seemed like, and knowing nothing like what you know about hockey, it seemed like they were a team full of people, let's call them the Lakers.
Okay.
Like
Some star players.
star
but
players that could not simply play together.
Yeah.
Like it looked somewhat disjointed compared to the other. Like I watched the Rangers game.
Right.
So
it's not a terrible
because it was Rangers
assessment.
Hurricanes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rangers Hurricanes. The Rangers were playing. I mean, how they won that game in Game 6, because that game goes back to the Garden in Game 7, and they have all the pressure on them after potentially blowing a 3-0 lead.
Right.
I would have put the house on Carolina, not just to emotionally hedge, but because I really thought they would have won that game. But Chris Kreider, the all-time leading Rangers goal scorer in the playoffs, gets a third period hat trick, joining the likes of guys that I'm sure you've heard of, Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier. Was the only Rangers to have done that in the playoffs in the same period. Tall cotton indeed. I mean, it was wild to see. But yeah, the Rangers team is playing cohesively, especially their special teams right now.
They looked like they really did. They looked like again. I'm below novice.
Right.
They looked like a extremely cohesive, functioning team, like playing a style. Like when we talk about what Pat Kelsey does and how he assembled his team, that's what it looked like to me.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I'm Scotty Bowman with the X's and O's of hockey,
right?
But no, the Rangers definitely are buying in. They're getting production, which
Scotty
is something
Bowman was the Red Wings coach, right?
Yes.
How about that?
Look at that. Look at this guy. Not just muscles. He's also got it up here.
I have hair.
I've got hair. No, Scotty Bowman, legendary coach. All-time winningest coach, I think, in the Big Four.
How about that?
I think, yeah. Scotty Bowman, great coach. But no, the Rangers are buying in. They're getting production from their top players, but everyone's buying in. Their special teams are fantastic. Power play has been good. Penalty kill has been dangerous. They're scoring on the penalty kill, in addition to being able to kill penalties. So, very good. Igor Shesterkin shows glimpses of being his Vezina self. The Rangers are a dangerous team, but that said, they're going up against Matt Tkachuk and Sergei Bobrovsky of the Panthers. I mean, Bobrovsky is inconsistent, but when he's on, he's as good as any goalie in the NHL. Now, Matt Tkachuk is as dangerous as anybody in the playoffs in terms of scoring.
Is Matt the brother or son of Keith?
I believe the son of Keith Tkachuk. And there's another Tkachuk, Brady.
Okay.
And I believe they're all the sons of Keith Tkachuk.
Okay.
I believe.
Name.
But I know they're in the same family. Yeah. I believe they're his kid. Good work out of you. Again, look at Jenky knowing his hockey stuff over here. Proud of you. But no, I mean, I think the Bruins are a good team. They were able to get past Toronto, but no, I mean, the Panthers just proved to be a little bit too much. I'm worried. I'm not super confident going in, but the Rangers get production like they have from the top guys. They're as dangerous as anybody. Right. It's going to be interesting over in the West. Dallas is a very good team. But I mean, you can't count out the Oilers. I mean, as Tanner put on the sheet, the Oilers dominated Game 7 last night against Vancouver. Vancouver was able to put a little momentum together late in the game, but it wasn't enough. I mean, look, they got the best player in hockey right now. The Oilers do, and Connor McDavid, and getting good production from Leon Draisaitl too. They're a good team. The NHL has two very good series to watch right now in the conference finals. If I had to predict, I'm probably going to say Edmonton and Florida in the Stanley Cup. I hope I'm wrong. I'm worried. That might be my Rangers fan coming out a little bit, but I could see the Rags winning in 6. I could see them losing in 5. It's one of those things. Yeah. So I don't know, but good series in the NHL. We'll talk a little bit about the NBA, but we got 2 more cookies to get to.
I'm going to try to see if I can get him to turn that down a smidge.
I'm going to open up the Oreos. As we crack open the Oreos here.
You can get some.
We are Gas Bags Radio here.
I'm going to see if I can get him
District 25 Championships. It's going to be help yourself, man. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a pause here and see if we can turn the music down just a little bit. And we'll go down the stretch here at the District 25 Championship here at Derby City Field.
Princeton's dad, great freshman ball player. Hopefully you can get him turned out some
Awesome. Yeah, no, I basically just paused the video.
Okay.
So, all right, we'll come back in 3, 2, 1. All right. So the third one, OG Oreos. This is the standard Oreo, not the reduced fat, not the double stuff, not the jumbo stuff. Just classic Oreo. We all grew up with these cookies. Let's crack them open.
Again, warm. And actually, this is kind of nice. The cream being a smidge warm.
Yeah, no, it definitely melts into the cookie a little bit. Truth be told, while we were working on the music here, I might have snuck one of these. So this is my second Oreo. It's a great cookie.
I mean, it's perfection.
It is. You can't beat it. Right amount of cocoa, good crunch. We've all had this. The cream tastes good. Not as artificially sweet as some of the other creams. It's a great cookie.
Agreed. Very good cookie. And for me, right, my favorite. And then that soft batch is probably running somewhere right in there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things that it's damn near perfection.
You know what? The aftertaste of the Oreo.
Cocoa that just continues to roll.
Just right on the back of the palate. As we use wine terms for cookies, Nabisco cookies.
Yep.
That said, love this cookie. It is the slightest of slightest margins.
Hold on, I'm going to have to do this.
Ahead of the generic cookie. The generic Oreo, in terms of value, what are you doing? Are you going halfsies?
No. I'm going to take a bite. I'm going to rotate back and forth. I want to know.
All right, let's see. The generic Oreos, this is the generic. This isn't the Kaleidos from Kroger. The generic Oreos, a little bit lighter than the regular Oreos. Yeah. Crunchier, not as cocoa-y. Oreos perfection.
That's good, though.
I love the crunch.
Right?
I love the crunch of the generic Oreo.
It's just light on cocoa. If it was, and you never know. Maybe there's a weird recipe thing, like it can only taste so much like it or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how those patents work, but
these really impress me. I mean, the Oreo wins, but in terms of how much was this? In terms of value, you're not beating this.
$4.99 for the Oreo cookie, and then $2.79 for that mega pack of 60 fucking cookies.
And you get blonde cookies too. You get a mix. Cocoa and blonde.
So if you ever actually get tired of the Oreo cocoa.
Right. Damn. I mean, Oreo gets the win, mostly because of the aftertaste. But, I mean, you know what it is? It's in Rocky 1 when Rocky loses the split decision.
Okay.
Oreo, this is the Apollo Creed. It's great. Yep. Fantastic. This
got a
plucky,
name. Yeah, a name.
It has a name. This plucky underdog, though, comes out of nowhere and fights its ass off and is a very respectable cookie.
Yeah, I agree.
But Oreo gets a nod. And now, before we crack this open, you got any thoughts on the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're looking at Celtics. I think we're looking at Celtics T-Wolves no matter what here.
I put up a Twitter poll. Who do you have of the 4 remaining teams?
Yeah.
50% of the vote went to the Celtics. I do think when the Pacers can shoot,
That's a very dangerous team.
And when Tyrese Halliburton isn't invisible, that is an elite team.
I do think what the Knicks did to an injured Knicks team, a not 100% Knicks team in any possible way, right? What the Knicks did to stifle the Pacers in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And at moments during the series, I think when you look at Boston can do it at a consistent rate.
Yeah, and they're healthy.
And that being why they can do it at a consistent rate is they're for the most part. I think Porzingis is not playing game 1, maybe, but they expect him in game 2.
Yeah, that sounds right. I know. Yeah, he is banged up, but I mean, Tatum and Brown are perfectly healthy.
Absolutely, and that team was put together well, where Porzingis is not he's a very good defensive player. He's not the defensive linchpin.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good way to put
And
it.
actually, I'm Derek White might be the defensive linchpin. That's tough not to argue.
This is such
Derek
a
White's been fantastic.
he definitely has been. On the other side, I do think it'll come down to defense too in the Western Conference. I mean, the T-Wolves have been, Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert have been
Fantastic.
absolutely, and while chipping in about 15 points or so.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like they're completely anemic on the offensive side. I mean, Ant has been incredible. Cat's been very good.
You've had a very good production out of. But what Rudy does well is Rudy gets rebounds and puts the ball right back up. He's an offensive rebound machine.
Yeah,
and that's where he garners his points. But if he's always in a good position to be able to execute this properly, I think it allows him to have 8 to 12 points a game, and that's exactly what they need out of it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think, that's a pretty complete team over there.
And it really does let Cat kind of be the player he really, really wants to be.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I mean, as good as Ant has been, I mean, he wasn't always the leading scorer on his own team.
Correct. Yeah.
But I don't think he necessarily needs to be.
No, he's been very good at not having to force the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And because he hasn't been forced to do it, he's able to come into his own, and he's been playing great. And I mean, the Mavs are terrific. Kyrie at times has been invisible. At times.
Yeah.
And Luka's banged up.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not pretend that he's at 100%. I mean, if I had to predict, I'm thinking Mavs. I'm thinking T-Wolves and Celtics in the final.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, let's put it this way. If the Pacers shoot like they did against the Knicks, and yeah, the Knicks were banged up, that might have been slightly indicative of why they were able to shoot so well.
Right.
But still, I mean, 67% from the field.
Yeah.
I mean, in the first half, they were over 70.
Yeah.
And they were 72%, I think, from behind the arc. I don't care how banged up you are. You're shooting lights out if you're putting those numbers.
No, I agree. But that happened in one game. And that's why it's a great performance. We've seen plenty of great performances in the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if that was an outlier.
Right.
I don't think they're going to be able to put those numbers up against a healthy Celtics team for sure. But we will see. All right. We are your home for the NBA Finals and NBA Playoffs, ESPN Louisville. So listen to Kesty and company on our airwaves. We always appreciate that. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Welcome to
we are going to do our last cookie of the day, and I'm very excited about this.
District 25,
the Oreo Sour Patch Kids.
Yep.
Now, I don't even know. I had all of these cookies I've more or less had before. I know what they taste like.
Yeah.
I can't even process what I think these are going to taste like.
Concession stand is open.
I'm trying to prepare myself. But the Sour Patch Oreos, it's a blonde Oreo.
Manual baseball booster.
But
restrooms
I don't know.
located.
By the way, you can probably hear the announcement for the concession stand here at the Derby City Fields. Before we get to the cookie, go to Little League concession stand snacks after baseball. What were yours?
Ooh, a snow cone.
Snow cone, good choice.
Cone's a great one.
I feel like we should almost do a draft, with Tanner, because Tanner I think played Little League baseball.
Pickles would be good.
Pickles, underrated. It also helped you not cramp.
Yep,
that was a good one. Ours were the free soda, and it was the only time my parents would let me have Surge.
Yeah,
when it came out, because they were like, "That's too much sugar, Nick." And I was like, "Really? I'm having Airheads, but whatever."
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm having Surge in tappy form.
Yeah, exactly right. So, but that was the only time I could get Surge. I guess my mom would look the other way. She was like, "All right, it's just a small cup. You can have it." He earned it. Yeah. I was going 4 for 4 in T-ball. I mean, come on.
Hey, listen.
So
it's what champions are made.
So no, was a big fan of the Surge, of course, but no, Warheads. I was introduced to Warheads, and anytime one of the kids was able to get 3 Warheads in his mouth, especially black cherry or lemon, that's how you knew that kid wasn't fucking scared. That kid was a fucking Viking.
Yep.
If he was doing that thing. And I remember Neil Goodwin turned out to be an honor guard with the Air Force. Yep. You could tell the badassery was with him even at that point. Yep. Took down 3 black cherries. Man was made of stern stuff. So that and the taco in a bag. Can't beat taco in a bag. That was a favorite of my mom's. It was a favorite of me. The walking taco, the taco in a bag.
We're not fully separated in generation. We didn't have
You didn't have taco in a bag?
taco in a bag.
I think I was seriously, I think I was the first
Early,
generation.
especially where
to have
we're
taco in a
in
bag.
Sellersburg, right?
Yeah, Sellersburg. I mean, because I was playing Little League 95, 96.
Yeah.
And I think it was halfway through my Little League.
That would have been
tenure.
right when they opened the ballpark on Fern. You wouldn't have played behind the elementary school.
No.
That's where I started at, was behind the elementary school.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Yeah,
where the middle school is now is where our Little League fields were at.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, no,
And then they built 95, 96 was maybe 94 was the opening year for the Fern Street Park.
Yeah. And I remember my second year, I think it was second year T-ball, third year T-ball maybe. That's when taco in a bag was introduced.
Taco in a bag.
Yeah, because
I think it was because, again, when I went to high school, right, we're talking like the only people of color that we had were we had a family that moved from Guatemala and a family that moved from Nigeria. That was it.
Yeah, we had
That was it.
we had a rather white school.
Yeah, we were very, very white.
Yeah. It wasn't much more diverse when I was in school.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit more so.
I was
but
fine.
yeah, not a ton.
I was part of the breakthrough.
It was part of the breakthrough. There we go. But no, absolutely great memories. Little League baseball, snacks. You can't beat them.
And I think I actually talked about this. The guy that was the Guatemalan in my school, in my grade, Diego Morales, Secretary of State in Indiana now.
I did not know that. Look at that. I had no idea. Silver Creek's the one with Secretary of State. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Everyone always talks about with good reason. You know, the Trey Kaufman-Wren.
Yeah.
Who's the kid that played for Indiana State? I can't remember his name.
Matt Wren.
Matt Wren. Yeah, thank you. Matt Wren.
Trey's uncle.
Yeah, Trey's uncle. That's right. Yeah, thank you. Matt Wren. Yeah. I was going to say, I think it's Wren too, right? Yeah, Matt Wren, yeah.
Yep.
Everyone talks about them with good reason. But Secretary of State also coming from, and you know who else is Silver Creek?
Yeah.
Grads? How you doing?
Yeah,
How you
what's
doing?
up, guys?
Famous alums all over the place. Right. All right. Sour Patch Oreos.
Yep, there we go.
No idea what to expect. Golick Jr. tried them, and I believe he said very fruity on the front.
Yeah.
You get it on the nose. It's a good cookie. It's not one you can binge.
Right.
Because it's a very unique flavor.
Well, see, and like the lemon ones, right? Because I like lemon. Lemon cake, lemon pie. Ooh, boy.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't dislike lemon. It's grown on me. I used to be one of the flavors I didn't like along with coconut, but I've softened on both.
Yeah.
You know what? My dad went through a phase of getting, when I was living back home in between girlfriends.
Yeah.
My dad went through a phase of getting the lemon Oreo thins.
Oh, yeah. Those are fantastic.
And I kind of softened my stance on it a little bit.
Oh,
Live radio.
Oh, no shit. How about that? Is that where he wants to go? Yeah, DuPont Manual is sending a guy to UVA.
Hey, look at that.
I don't know that he's going to walk. I don't know that he's going to play baseball, but I don't know that he's getting recruited for that. But I mean, getting in, right?
He's got to be a smart kid.
He's no walk. He didn't get in at 9.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's no walk. Yeah, right.
Whatever it was.
Yeah, he actually finished high school at what, 16, 17 or whatever? I graduated at 15.
Yeah.
I graduated at 17.
I graduated at 17 also.
Okay, yeah, look at us. See, Locke, we're not that much.
We're basically the same.
We're basically as smart as you.
Yep.
You nerd. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so Sour Patch Oreos, you can smell them from here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Very fruity on the nose.
Not specifically sour, but there's a hint of it, right? It's a light hint.
Ooh, on the back end.
Yeah.
You get it on the back end.
Yeah, it's good.
These are terrific.
Really good.
You get the sour on the back end.
You know what's surprising?
Fruit on the nose.
Is that Golick doesn't believe you can binge these.
Oh, you could binge these.
I think you could.
They are the sweetest of all the cookies. That is one thing.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. They are the sweetest.
And they are sweeter than the lemons.
Also, I think they're a little bit more stuffed than the regular. Let's compare. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
it's closer to a double stuff.
It's closer to a double stuff. Yeah. So there is more cream in here.
And you normally pay extra for that sort of thing.
Indeed.
That's a good cookie. It shouldn't be a good cookie.
No. I went in ready to hate these. Am I crazy? Am I crazy?
When Golick liked them, that was when I softened on them.
Yeah.
About the potential of them. Because that, yes.
Now we're going to need to.
Yeah.
We're going to need to go to the gym.
We're going to knock a little bit, about 30 minutes of workout.
Do some up downs.
Yeah. No. I'm not trying to throw up anywhere.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah.
Well, good though.
Okay. The question is, are they better than these are regular? Really?
They're not better than.
I think the level of cream.
I can eat a lot of these. I can eat a lot of them, and I can eat a lot of them relatively quickly. More so than the lemon.
Yeah.
The lemon really does slow me down quite a bit. I can eat that sleeve with not even thinking. I can eat that whole pack. That's a single serving.
What, of the regular Oreos? Regular Oreos?
That's a single serving of Oreos.
I am so enamored with these because I didn't hate them, and I actually kind of like them, that they are competing with Oreo.
I've sat down before on the family packs, right? So the bigger packs of the Oreos.
Yeah.
And I've conquered.
You've taken an entire sleeve down or the whole
No,
the whole bag? Oh, Jesus.
The whole
That's
pack,
impressive.
about a half gallon of milk.
Half gallon? Wow. You did some work.
Listen,
How do you look the way you do?
Cocaine.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I don't sleep.
That's what you get on the gas bags. Allegedly.
No,
I say allegedly.
I go to the gym an extreme amount of time.
There you go.
Yeah, if I get an off time or anything like that, like I'm off this week, I'll probably go to the gym 2 times a day.
Okay, so that's how you work off an entire thing of cookies.
Right. Now It's not been recently. It's been a year or two since I've done it.
This needs to be a segment. Jenky gets Nick out of being a fat piece of shit.
You're not a fat piece of shit, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man. Right. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. I was fishing a little bit there.
Okay.
But no. Like, I need to, like training montages and everything. You get Tanner and I to be yoked in like 6 months or whatever, however long it takes.
I actually am. So my relationship here with Manuel, I actually am going to do strength and conditioning for the baseball team starting.
So there you go.
And starting in the fall, as a group, and over the summer, like if they need help, they want me to come, like, because Planet Fitness does the free for everybody 14 to 18.
Yeah.
For the summer.
Right. It's a very good program.
Absolutely.
For Keyboy.
And when they do that, if they need help, I have a black card for it. So I can go to any of them. I kind of have it for when I travel or I need to just go real quick.
Right.
I'll go help them throughout the summer. And then, so obviously I can help you and Tanner if you guys want to try to be 18. Or actually, if you can just get Rick Keebler to give you
I was going to say, yeah, that might be the play there.
Yeah,
I don't even mind. It's so reasonable.
Yeah,
it's
$10 to $25. It's a good deal.
It's a great deal. Absolutely. But that way I can eat these cookies guilt-free and not have the cookie sweats as I'm through this.
You do have to take a break from cookies and whatnot for a little while.
I know. But we could do that. As good as these were.
What was the one you did with Jack?
Vitality? Great program.
If you were going to do the Vitality
Sterling,
program,
if you're watching, shout out to you, my friend.
That would be the time.
Great coach.
Like, as you're doing the Vitality program, if then you can really kind of push into what you're doing physically, things like this won't matter because you're consciously deciding against them all the time, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah, my refusal skills can be strong. Can be. Right now, they're not. Those were so damn good. I'm really torn between where to put them. I think.
Oh, I mean, they're better than these are. That's not.
But these were so good.
The value of these is fantastic. This is a better cookie.
Yeah.
If money's no object.
If you put the same amount of cream in these, it would even up the field. Like, that is one thing.
Okay.
Like, those have by far the most cream of all these cookies.
The creamiest.
They are the creamiest, but without being overly so. They're not like one of the mega stuffed ones where it's all cream.
Yeah, where it's too much.
Yeah.
Heathens.
Like, this is what that level of cream is what I've come to expect from an Oreo cookie. Like, I actually kind of thought those were a little light on the cream, but that is what it.
That's the standard.
That's the standard. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I guess it's just I've had so many.
Field.
Any specialty flavor of Oreo cookie
Tonight's game
has
is the District
somewhere
25
around.
championship game.
They do have more. They do have more cream on the
Francis
special.
Parker Wyvern
Yeah,
against
the
DuPont
specialty
Manual
flavors.
Crimson.
It's not as much as a double stuff,
Yeah.
but it's definitely more so than the original.
Francis Parker
It's definitely
comes
it's like
in
a
tonight
it's like
with
a
record
1.5 stuff.
16 under the direction of
So
head coach Tony.
so with that
Butler.
said, I think
we're tying it up.
we are tying it up.
The Wyverns
Good
are
luck
here in the finals
to
after
who is it? Francis
a dramatic
Parker,
11-8
Francis
victory
Parker,
over
and
DuPont
Manuel.
Christian
DuPont
Eagles
Manuel.
last
Good
night.
luck to both of them.
Yep.
We are coming to you live from the District
DuPont Manual
25
Crimsons
baseball tournament, where we
are
saw
21 and 11.
DuPont Manuel knock off Shawnee in the opening round. First
And
time we're ever
to the
doing
finals
Gas
after
Bags Radio
defeating
on the road, on location. Shout out
the
to
Shawnee
Justin
Golden
Soforo.
Eagles,
Sorry, our man
scoring
Tanner Bergamesso
17-0.
couldn't be with us today.
Yep.
He's working.
But if you're out and this
DuPont
is up
Manual
fast
led
enough,
by
go
head
get
coach
pizza.
Ryan
absolutely.
Black.
Boom Buzz. Go say hi to
Houston
Tanner.
Parkway.
Yeah, bother him. Definitely ask him for a ton of refills. He's
Yeah,
on-
Lots of
yeah.
good fans. If you
Don't,
want to
don't
get a
even
snack,
order food. Get an appetizer like
You need something to
breadsticks.
drink.
Yes, and appetizer and just a ton of water refills. Just absolutely, he'll
All
love that
proceeds.
for sure.
Yep.
No, we were just
DuPont
kidding. We
Manual
appreciate you
baseball
spending some
boosters.
time with us, guys. Gas Bags episode
The restrooms
18
are located
in the
in
books.
the
Until next
Spalding
time, I'm Nick
Clubhouse.
Valvano.
Jason Jenkins.
Give us
Which
a follow
is the
on
building
Twitter
behind
at Nicky
our
Vespin.
courtside
Jinky, your
bleachers.
boy.
Absolutely, we appreciate you guys spending some time with us, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Gas Bags Radio.
Thank you, guys.